we're being productive. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal Arguello and welcome to Crystal's Copia, where we live a life of abundance. I'm so glad you're here, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. We're going to talk about productivity, and I'm going to give you 10 tips to get more out of your day, to be more productive, to live your best life. So if that's something you're into, then just keep watching. All right, guys, let's get into the video. So 10 tips on how to be more productive. Here we go. My first tip, you know what I'm gonna say, don't you? I'm gonna say work off that list. That's right, create a list. Create an idea of what you're actually going to accomplish. Now, if you're someone who's easily distracted, this might be something to just put in a blank notebook. However, I love to use my planner. I know some people love to use a digital calendar or notes on their phone. One thing that I will tell you is I have discovered that it's easier for me to work from a planner or from a paper notebook than it is from my phone, because my phone is so distracting with notifications and whatnot. So in the morning, when I have those first few hours of the day where it's just me working on my list and my stuff, I like to work from a paper planner in my computer and leave the phone in another room. Work off the list. That's my first step into being more productive. The next thing I do to be more productive is I figured out what time of day I am most productive. So for some people that could be first thing in the morning where there's no distractions, maybe kids are gone. For other people, it might be late at night when kids have gone to bed or when your work day has wound down and now you can finally start working on some of those side projects. So determining what time of day you're in the most productive will help you, because then you can schedule those projects that are of most importance during that time. Second thing on my list is to remove friction. Now this is kind of a funny one, but I have found that there's certain things, little annoyances in my life that tend to kind of start my day off on the wrong foot, or they just slow me down in my productivity. So I've figured out what those little annoyances are, and I've tried to create little to no friction. So for example, my workouts, I like to have them set out for the week of what I'm gonna do. I like to keep everything in the area I'm gonna work out. I like to keep my headphones there. I like to have my shoes there. Like, I want no friction, because if there's the slightest bit of friction, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's not meant to be today. I'm not gonna work out. So I will make up whatever story I need to get out of that task. So I need to eliminate friction. It could be getting ready in the morning. If you wanna, make sure that you're presentable and maybe you wanna do hair and makeup or whatever, setting out the things that you need and only the things that you need, instead of like a whole array of makeup when you want to do like a 5-minute makeup before work. Make that as streamlined and easy as possible so that those little hiccups aren't slowing you down and frustrating you throughout the day, because that's gonna make you more productive. The next thing on my list is to time block. Time blocking is really common, but I feel like a lot of people don't utilize it to its full potential. I'm gonna use a couple examples here. So time blocking for me, for my YouTube channel, I will put on the hair and the makeup and all the things, and I will film multiple videos at once. I'll change my shirt, I might change my makeup or hair a little bit. I will be in filming mode for a block of time. Maybe it's 2 to 3 hours. Same thing with editing. I might look like a swamp demon with no makeup on and my hair in a wet knot, but I'm editing all day. You're not gonna see my face. By creating those time blocks, I'm able to be more efficient, and once I'm kind of in the zone of editing, I can go a little quicker. Same thing with filming. So once I'm already, camera ready and I'm ready to talk to you guys, I wanna go ahead and film a lot of videos. It can be that way with maybe you're doing sales calls. You don't wanna do a sales call and then go to a lunch and then try to get back into sales call mode, because it kind of takes a little bit to get yourself fired up to do some of those tasks, like filming, calling, things like that, where you're going to be involved with people. So blocking those together while your energy's up in the right time of day is going to help you to be more productive. Also, errands, things like that, where you're running around, blocking those together to get the most out of your time is going to be so helpful in being productive. And also, taking the time to plan that is going to save you so much time. So fifth thing on my list to be more productive is to create routines. I am a lover of routines and habits. The reason that I am is because I get overwhelmed and I get stressed and I get anxious, and I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. So if I have some routine to set myself up for success, to set myself up for a good morning, set myself up for a great night and good night's sleep, that's gonna help me. It's gonna take that off of my plate. It's gonna set me up to not have to think about everything that I need to do, because I do it every night. So I know that at X time I'm gonna go, I'm gonna take my makeup off, I'm gonna look at my planner, I'm gonna do all the things that I need to do at night to wind down. Same thing in the morning when I wake up. I know what I expect of myself, and it sets me up not only for a great day, but it also eliminates me having to have that decision fatigue of, okay, what do I need to do now? Okay, what do I need to do now? I feel like so so many people look at routines and sometimes they feel like it's a little bit like restrictive, but they're there to help you. They're there to ensure that the things that you really want to get done are getting done and getting scheduled. I have found that people that don't have any routines in their life are the ones that are running around like chickens with their head cut off, unfortunately stressed, and they're not getting that time, that self-care time, or they're not getting that time to really fill up their cup and do the things that they enjoy doing because they're constantly reacting to everything around them. So routines are so helpful and they will help you to be more productive. You can systemize things in your life, which are great. Anytime you can systemize things, it's going to decrease decision fatigue because we only can make so many decisions before we're like, okay, I'm done. We've all had those days where you spent the whole day deciding and you get home and your significant other's like, hey, what are we gonna have for dinner? And you're just like, I don't know, I don't care. Like, I just can't make any more decisions. Eliminating the decision fatigue, create those routines in your life. The sixth thing that I like to do, speaking of dinner, is I never make one meal at a time. Now, we have 4 teenage children in and out of the house with their boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, whoever. I never make one meal at a time. And I'm also working from home, so if I'm cooking myself lunch, I might be also cooking dinner at the same time because there are certain days where, you know, you have a little bit more time than other days. I know that everyone's schedule is different. So maybe meal prepping on a Sunday to get yourself ready is the best way to do it. But for me, a couple days at a time works better. Otherwise, we tend to waste food because sometimes the kids' schedule can be weird. So I always make a couple meals at the same time. I'm already making a mess. I'm already in the kitchen. I might as well make the most of it. Also, meal prepping can be very cumbersome when you think about, okay, I'm gonna make every meal for the whole week. Here's a tip for you if you're going to, you're trying to be more productive and you want to incorporate a little bit of that planning. Prep the food, not the meals. So when you go get groceries, let's say you get groceries on Sunday and you buy some fruit and vegetables and things like that, take that time, cut it up, maybe cook it a little bit if you need to, do whatever you need to do so that when you're throwing meals together, you can just kind of toss those ingredients in. Because usually the prepping is sometimes what takes a lot of time, like chopping everything up. Another thing that you can do is the night before, set out some meat. If you're a meat eater, chances are you are freezing meat, or even if you're a vegetarian, just kind of planning out what you're gonna eat the next night, or even just an idea. I don't sometimes know the whole meal, but I know I laid out chicken breasts and they're in the fridge instead of the freezer, so I can see them in the morning. When I get my coffee creamer, I see that chicken sitting there and I'm like, okay, I need to set that out and let that thaw. So that just helps kind of trigger me. It also helps me to have an idea, something set up, so at the end of the day, when I'm tired from work, I'm not trying to figure everything out. The 7th thing on my list to help you be more productive is to leave some space. I see so many people schedule every little thing in their calendar and they don't have any space. They don't have space for the commute time. They don't have any space for reacting to the day's happening. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes there's an accident on the freeway and you're stuck in traffic. So create a little space and wiggle room in your schedule. And the cool part is if that space doesn't fill in, hey, you just got some free time. You can maybe read that book that you've been wanting to read or get a workout in, go for a walk, have a cup of coffee, whatever your thing is, leave some space so that you have some room to get all the things done. The 8th thing on my list to be more productive is to maximize mindless tasks. This is your workouts. This is maybe folding laundry or cleaning. This is your drive to work. I am not big and multitasking. I love to just focus on one task. I feel like I'm much more powerful and productive, but there are certain things that we do kind of mindlessly. Like if I'm vacuuming, I'm not like, I don't need to be 100% focused on vacuuming. I can be vacuuming and also listening to an audiobook, or I can be folding laundry and watching a YouTube video. Watch me while you're folding your clothes. Or I could be on the elliptical or the treadmill and I could be, again, listening to a podcast, doing some kind of leisure activity that I've been wanting to do, whether it's an educational thing or maybe it's just something for fun, but it's making that task a little bit more enjoyable. Also, it's allowing me to have time for that other thing while I'm doing this thing. So it works out well. So the 9th thing on my list is to remove distractions. I know this is a no-brainer, but so many people have a hard time doing this. And this is so important when you're trying to focus. So take your phone. If you're trying to, bang out some work for an hour, put it in another room. Tell your family you're unavailable. Whatever you need to do, turn off the TV, just eliminate as many distractions as you can, because once you get in the zone and you are focused on something, you are gonna be so much more productive, plus your quality of work is gonna be so much greater. And then when you're done doing it, you can actually engage in that family time or time with your spouse. You can plug in. You're not sitting there in the back of your mind thinking, oh, I should have been doing this, or you're trying to do both. Don't try to do both. Don't watch your show while you're doing emails. Like, it sucks. You're not getting to enjoy the show, and the emails are probably not as good either. So focus on what you're doing, just get it done, and then you enjoy the time and actually enjoy your time. Unplug. When you're on vacation, unplug. Enjoy yourself. That's important. The 10th thing on my list, and probably one of my favorites, and I'm gonna do a whole series on it, so get jacked about it, is to declutter your space. This is powerful. People don't understand the the marriage of an organized space and a clear mind. A clear mind is a productive mind because we're able to focus. If all of the stuff is around and it's a mess, it's really hard to focus because part of us is thinking, oh gosh, I really should have been, folding those clothes. I really should have taken the time to organize that, whatever. So declutter, get rid of that stuff that you don't need, that makes cleaning harder, that makes your day finding the things that you love harder. Get rid of that. Get rid of that decision fatigue. If you have, 13 makeup palettes and you use one, give those things away. Do it. You give my permission. Because in the morning when you just have the one to use, you're gonna feel better. It just feels good. It feels good to have a tidy space. It's easier to think. So those are my 10 tips on how to be more productive. I'm gonna do a declutter series for you guys. I'm super stoked about it. I'm actually gonna bring my husband in. He is not a lover of all things organizing or decluttering. He actually, honestly, probably could care less, but he knows how powerful it is and how much it can help in his productivity. So he's agreed to come on board. So I'm gonna show you someone who loves organizing. And I'm gonna show you someone who's like, husband, he will maintain an organized space and he knows how good it feels to have an organized space. But if it's a Friday night, that's not his first choice of what to do to stay in and organized. I like the clean, clear space. It helps me to think clearly and to focus on what I need to do. So you're gonna see both. I'm gonna show you how to take those maybe unorganized people and help them to find systems that are gonna be easy for them to follow. And also it's gonna help you because you're not constantly annoyed that their stuff's everywhere. If you guys are into that, look for that series. It's gonna be starting up next week, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. I absolutely love making them. Leave a comment below on your favorite productivity tip. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video with me again. That being said, have an awesome day, guys. Go be productive. Mwah. Who's ready to be productive?